Well, feels good to get back in here and get back to another week of work. It always feels good to make corrections after a win, not after a loss. But we got a lot of things that we have to clean up. The guys were in here this morning. We kind of put the SEMO game to bed finally and have moved on to Murray State. Looking forward to being back at home again for family weekend. I thought it was a great environment at Saluki Stadium. And looking forward to another one. I think, it's just business as usual. We got to get back and have another good week of practice. I felt like the reason we were able to do the things we were able to do on Saturday is because we were prepared and had a good week of practice. So we're looking forward to another week of preparation with a good, Murray State. I know they're 0-2, but we can't really be concerned about their record. I think they have a lot of talented players with a really good quarterback. And anytime you're, new receivers, it takes a couple games to start gelling, and at some point they will. So we got to be prepared for their best effort.
I think the two things I noticed was that I'd like to ask you about is how would you, or have you already adjusted to the slant patterns that they were getting open on? Is there any way you can scheme that to keep that from happening again? And they took away your bubble screens on offense. Were you happy with that? You did something else opened up because of that.
Yeah, I think that they did a good job of hitting a couple pass plays. We were also able to jump on a few. Same thing that we do. I mean, there's going to be, if you throw and catch it well, there's going to be windows to complete balls in any game that you play. So I thought that their quarterback did a good job of throwing the football on Saturday in some moments, and so yeah, we got to get in the film room, and there's always going to be corrections. That's not going to be the last time somebody completes a pass on us. And a route opens up that they schemed us up on. We got to be able to tackle them and reline up and continue to get stopped. That was the biggest thing of our offense. Even when they hit plays, we made them work and made them earn it, and then ultimately made them kick field goals. As far as our offense goes, as far as them taking away, there's going to be teams as well, that take away things that you do well in the previous week. They're going to have a scheme for you that you might not have seen. So I feel good, and I like our offense because we're able to do a few different things. We were able to establish the run game and really do some good things. We feel good about going it week to week. You got to have a plan, and you got to feel good, and you got to have a game plan for anything that defense might throw at you.
So when they overcover that horizontal stuff, that means they're susceptible more so for the run game and downfield.
Yeah, run game or nowadays in run pass options. I mean, you'll see a little bit of everything on how teams are going to prepare for you. But if guys come up and challenge you at the line of scrimmage, ultimately you gotta stretch the field vertically, and you got to throw the ball down the field. We were able to hit a few on Saturday. Missed a couple, but that also happens too. I mean, they were a good defense, and so yeah, we just got to continue to prepare. The biggest thing is just continue to get better at what we do is the biggest thing, as much as preparing and have a good game plan is just continuing to get better at what we do on offense and defense and our scheme and being fundamentally sound.
When you have situations like the last year and a half or so where it's been a struggle in the close games, how important was it to be able to finish one off Saturday?
Yeah, it was really big. We talk about, I mean, the only way to really get that feeling is to go out there and do it and have some things go your way and to finish a game. And it wasn't always pretty Saturday. Going back on the film, a lot of things to clean up. But ultimately, we're in this thing to find a way to win, and they were able to do that. And that's what I was most proud about the guys. And now we can come in here and make those corrections, and it's what's fun about the season. Now we're back to Monday. We got a whole new team to prepare for and try to go out on Saturday and get that same feeling we had last Saturday.
When you look at your penalties, Nick, you had some majors, and penalties are part of the game, but how many do you look at, we've got to do something different, and how many were just effort plays?
A lot of them were effort plays. Really, we haven't approached it. Obviously, we got to continue to be disciplined. I felt like our team has done that. we were putting in some tough spots. I mean, penalties hurt us on Saturday, but nothing to where I felt like we weren't fundamentally or mentally into it, or we lost our composure. A lot of effort plays. Pass interference each and every week is still, back and forth, kind of a 50-50 call. Had a couple of those. And but other than that, I felt like we played a pretty clean game again. So nothing that we're going to get in here and have to coach. We continue to coach the fundamentals and always play hard.
Will you have instant replay this weekend?
Yeah, well, it'll be on ESPN3, which will be nice. And so it's I think that both games haven't been decided by penalties or anything like that. We got to be able to play through those type of things one way or another, and just continue to control what we can control.
You had 11 quarterback hurries, a couple sacks with basically a four-man rush for most of the game. How happy were with that, or do you feel good with those four right now?
Yeah, definitely. A lot of guys played. In that front, I think Coach Flieger, Coach Paulson's doing a great job of rotating those guys, keeping them fresh for 4 quarters. And then ultimately right there, TJ really did have a really good pass rush move to, on a single block. And you got to win your one-on-one matchups, and that's ultimately what, if you can get those. DeAndre Barnett, one of the best pass rushers in the country, I feel like. And so they did a really good job playing some young guys in there. Blake Parzich is another true freshman that got about 15 snaps on Saturday that's going to add some depth. And so there's 7-8 guys that are rotating on that defensive line, and I feel good about those guys.
If you had to pick one thing going into week 3 that you need to see improvement on, what would it be?
I think that offensively, you'd like to see us be able to, when the time is there to really take over the game, to continue to. We kick too many field goals. We talked about our defense holding them to field goals. We were 1 out of 4 in the red zone of scoring touchdowns, and that went all the way down to 4th down. Is being able to score touchdowns. We can't kick a bunch of field goals inside the 20-yard line. We got to find a way to get touchdowns. So that'll be a big emphasis. That is every single week. I think we've done a good job of ball security, but that's got to continue to happen. And I feel good. Josh is really doing a good job. We talked about maybe he missed a couple throws or felt some, but they were good misses. Putting the ball where either we're going to get it or nobody else is going to get it. We can live with that. And so continue to take care of the football, but scoring touchdowns in the red zone we got to improve on from last week.
They play a 4-2-5. How tough is that to stretch the perimeter with that kind of defense they play? They do a little bit of everything. They'll be an odd defense too, and have done some different things. So they've got some athletes over there, some good defensive linemen, and so we just gotta. We can spread them out, and we still got to be able to run the football, continue to do what we do. I mean, it'll be a great challenge, just like I feel like our defense has prepared us all camp. Now, in the 2 games that we've seen, last week playing an odd defense, which we'll see some this week, FAU being a 4-down, our defense showing a little bit of both throughout camp. I feel, prepared on whatever front. Our guys up front, especially our quarterbacks with setting protections, have seen a lot of front. So I feel really prepared, for what they're going to show us.
Health-wise, your secondary banged up for this one. You going to get any of those guys back?
Yeah, banged up. We'll find out about Roman Tatum this week. I think that we'll be able to get Roman back, but that's still, to be seen. He's doing good. It's just he'll be out there if he is with a small cast on his hand. Love to get Roman back. CJ not probably until after the bye week. So James Caesar stepped up and played really well, and KJ played really well, and then having Craig healthy is good. Was able to play the entire game. So it'd be good to get one of them back for sure, and Roman. And but other than that, I was proud of the way that they competed on Saturday.
Their quarterback hasn't played particularly well the first 2 games. He's been a little bit inaccurate, but he's one of the
offensive players in the country going into the season. What do you look at him, Nick? What's he struggling with, or what do you think he's going to figure out?
Yeah, I mean, he's played a lot of football, and he's really, really talented. He can throw the football, and he can hurt you, and he's a good athlete. So, anytime and he's well coached. I mean, and so they're going to figure things out. And he's turned the football over, and with whatever is going on as far as timing issues and things like that, at some point they're going to figure it out, and they're going to get on the same page, and they're going to have they're going to be practicing and watching film and making corrections just like everybody else. So we got to be prepared for him to have his best game, and be clicking on all cylinders. We got to continue to rush the passer. I think teams have been able to get some pressure on him, but he's a heck of a player, and at any point he's going to have a big game. I mean, he threw for almost 370 yards last game too. If you take away a couple of those turnovers, he has a huge game. So got a good one coming, and that's what we ultimately. You want to play against the best guys, and we've got one of the best quarterbacks in the country coming to play, and it'll be a good challenge for us.
Their running back and their tight end are pretty shifty. How important is it to you to not miss a lot of tackles, near the line of scrimmage?
Yeah, in this offense that they run, it's extremely important. Coming from an air raid background, they'll throw the ball around. They're still going to try to run the football. But getting playmakers the ball, and they've got playmakers. So you got to rally up and tackle. They're going to complete passes on Saturday. We got to keep it in front and make the tackle and be fundamentally sound and tackle and wrap up. And I thought a big thing on Saturday is we ran to the football. When you put on that film, there's a lot of maroon hats to the ball. If one guy slips off, there's 2 or 3 other guys right there to make sure we're getting the ball on the ground. So. All those type of things in a game like this, they'll spread you out and they'll throw it around and they'll go fast, and so you really have to be great tacklers in a game like this.
Can you talk about DJ Davis? How impressed you've been with his ability?
Yeah, DJ's a kid that'll continue to just keep getting better. Try to get him the football. I thought Semo's got a really good kicker. And was only able to get a couple returns. But, he's a guy also that you'll see. I mean, he's running down on punt and kickoff and playing on a lot of different special teams. He's a valuable piece. And as a true freshman, 2 games in, his load will continue to get, bigger and bigger. And, he's a great kid. He's the kind of kid that you want to bring into your program. I mean, he's all in on everything, whatever it takes, blocking, or like I said, anytime, the fastest way to get on the field as a freshman is if the special teams coordinator loves you. Not only, obviously he's a dynamic kick returner, but anytime you're going down there making tackles in both of your first 2 games, running down on kick and punt and those type of things, those are the kind of kids you want. So, DJ Davis has a really bright future here.
When did you tell your freshman kicker that he was going to start or be the field goal kicker and an extra point kicker? Early in the week, or before the game? Or?
Yeah, he knew on Friday that he was going to go out there. Austin had an ankle a little bit early in the week, and so. But Matt's done a really good job since since training camp. And we felt confident in him, gave him a shot, and he made the most of the opportunity. And that's what you have to do, anytime, you get an opportunity and you do well, that's what you're looking for, and especially in young kids, and Matt had a really good day.
When you look at this kind of big picture, last non-conference game, regional rival, head of the bye week, a lot of things factor in to make this one a pretty big one for you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. You talk about momentum going into conference play, a bye week. We've got to be really locked in here in practice, not looking ahead of, hey, we have a bye week coming up and all those type of things. Everything in this building right now, I promise you, over there with our coaches getting to work, it's 100% Murray State. We can't take any games for granted. We won 3 games last year. We're chasing, like I said, that feeling in the locker room
the only way to get it is go back to work and earn it again and keep earning it and earning it. So we just look forward to this week, and we get a chance to play another, like you said, I mean, Murray State, everybody's familiar with the two schools, played for a really long time. It's been a while since we've played, but I think it's a really good game for us to play. I mean, it only makes sense for us to play these games. So I'm looking forward to it. I think that it's going to be a great challenge.
How did the game come about? Nick, was it already set up when you became the head coach, or?
Yeah, it was already set by the time when I was the head coach. Yeah.
Anything else?
Appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.